Hi everybody, this is my first YouTube video and I wanted to talk to you about how I found out that I had androgenetic alopecia. This has been a long journey to get to this point. Honestly, I have suffered from hair loss for a long time. I've had thin hair most of my life, and I've always wanted long, flowing, luscious locks, but just wasn't to be when I looked at my family, who also has pretty thin hair, especially my mom, as time went on, had some thinning hair as she got older. My hair was pretty good. I usually, could put in a few extensions and it would look pretty great, and I could dye it and it would look my hair would still be healthy, but over the last year I noticed that it was really very fine, very brittle, and my hair became very wispy, and it was kind of disturbing. I was like, well, what's going on? Maybe this is just an age thing. And so I started trying a bunch of different things. But at the time in my life, my cat's decided to join us. Hello, Higgins. Anyway, sorry about that. At the time in my life, last year, when I started to noticed that my hair became really wispy, I was going through a lot with, aging parents, and my mom had a couple surgeries. My mother-in-law was going through cancer treatment, and just a lot of stress in my life. And I also was a little bit depressed, perimenopause and, hormone fluctuations and all those, great things. Anyway, so what I noticed was the wispiness of my hair. So I did go see my doctor about this. I see a functional medicine doctor who deals with my hormone replacement. And she checked my thyroid, which is really important to have checked, and checked all my hormone levels, which is also really important, and found that, my estrogen was very low and my thyroid antibodies were high, and it looked like I had a bit of thyroiditis. So I started on some thyroid medication. And that was in June of last year. And, I really didn't notice any difference in my hair at all. And actually, I noticed that even though I was on the hormone replacement therapy and I was taking the thyroid supplement medication, that my hair was still like diffusely falling out, like shedding ridiculous amounts. I'm like freaking out because every day I'm brushing my hair, there's just clumps and clumps, like not clumps, but too much hair. And at first I thought, okay, well, I'm just gonna see how it goes, and I was just being really positive about this thyroid stuff's gonna work. And so I waited a long time. So that was in June, and then by December I was really struggling. It was near impossible to hide my scalp. So up here, just very, very wide part, scalp showing around here, big scalp showing here. And then just, I had to use so much. I was using the kind of sprays at Tresemme, I think root cover up, or one of those root cover up things. And like going through cans and cans of this stuff, like, my pillowcase is covered in black, like just brutal. Honestly, it's so upsetting. I really don't think people understand how distressing it is when, I'm almost late for work every morning because I'm fussing about trying to cover my scalp. And I think I am really good at covering it up. I mean, you can't see it here. But I don't wear my hair down anymore. And these are extensions, just so you know. So yeah, by December, I was like, something is wrong and I need to deal with this. So I went to my functional medicine doctor. I talked to her about it specifically, and she did a scalp biopsy. And after a couple of weeks, I found out that I indeed do have androgenetic alopecia. So what is androgenetic alopecia, you ask? Well, sorry, my cat. Higgins, knock it off. Androgenetic alopecia is basically the miniaturization of your hair follicles due to androgens. So for me, too much DHT, which is dihydrotestosterone, which is a metabolite of testosterone, and it's pattern hair loss. So male and female pattern hair loss, and it causes the miniaturization of your hair follicles. I'm going to share my scalp biopsy because what it shows is that I had, like in that little biopsy, I had 33 follicles. 4 of them were vellus hairs, which is like peach fuzz, like very tiny, like what you have on your face. So those, I mean, they're still there. I'm hoping that they'll come back with some of the treatments I'm doing. And then I think 8 of my follicles were in the telogen phase, the catagen phase, which is the resting phase before they fall out. And then the other 21 were terminal, I forget the name, terminal hairs. So those are fine. Those are what you want. So yeah, that was very telling that it was, you know, consistent with androgenetic alopecia. And for me, then I know how to treat, you know, I know there are treatments for that. There's no cure, but there's treatments. And, you know, what I've learned, I've done a deep dive into this because, you know, it's your hair and I don't want to wear a wig and I don't want to be embarrassed when I, you know, put my head down like this. I'm a nurse, so I spend half of my time talking to people and writing with my head like this. And it's, you know, thank God I get to wear a scrub cap at work half the time. It's embarrassing and, you know, it doesn't make you feel good about yourself. And, you know, it's been really hard. So, oh my God, I'm going to cry. I didn't expect to do that. But I don't think people understand how difficult it actually is. So there's many things that I'm doing now in order to combat this and make my hair grow again. And I'm going to share that in another video. But for now, I just wanted to talk about, you know, what I'm dealing with. So in January, I was started on finasteride, and I have been on finasteride for 3 months. And I'm going to share some pictures. So I'm going to share a picture from last May where you can see I have severe thinning all here. And then from a couple weeks ago, and that's been since I've been on the finasteride. And so, but with the finasteride, you have to understand. So finasteride is not normally given to women because it can affect the fetus if you plan to get pregnant. So I am like in menopause, so I mean that ship has sailed for me. So it's fine for me to go on finasteride because finasteride is a DHT blocker, and that is the cause of my hair loss. So I started on finasteride 3 months ago, but it is not a like, hey, your hair is gonna start growing right away. It is like it's called a dread shred. And let me tell you, it is upsetting. When you're already losing, you already don't have any hair. Like, I mean, it could barely, I covered this up and I'm going to show you in another video what I do to cover my hair because most people don't know that I have hair loss. And it's, you know, there's some magical stuff around and it's not even the spray anymore. You know, there's powder stuff and I'll show you what I do. But that you get the dread shred. So it's a real trusting of the process, and that's where I'm at. So I'm trusting the process. I am taking my pill every night. I don't notice any other symptoms. Taking it every night. And, you know, I've started on some other things, but I'm going to save that for another video. So thank you for listening and following along on my journey, I guess you would call it, of trying to grow my hair back. And yeah, so I plan to share, you know, some of my treatments and successes and pictures along the way of how it's, you know, coming along. And one tip of advice that I would give somebody is don't wait too long. Go see a dermatologist and get a diagnosis and know what you're dealing with. And then you can, you know, hit it with everything that it's got, because this isn't like where you just start with one thing and then you hope and see how it goes. Oh no, you gotta like pull out everything and hit it hard. And that's what I'm doing. And so I'm going to show you in my next video some of the stuff that I'm doing. There's a little sneak peek. Okay. So, little sneak peek, and I'm going to, you know, show you some of the stuff that I'm doing. This is just a couple things, okay? And why I chose what I chose, okay? And, you know, if you know, you know, okay? So anyway, over the next year, 6 months, I'm going to be 3 months, I'm going to be sharing my updates and my progress, and I'm going to share with you what I'm doing and why, okay? So if you like this video and you want to know more and follow me along, I'd love it if you would comment, like, and subscribe.